Okay, good afternoon. So here we are to discuss about encouraging people to use public transport. So before we start off our discussion, I think better off introduce ourselves. So
My name is Muhammad Hairul Azri bin Hairul Anwar, and my matric number is 190183.
My name is Muhammad Firdaus bin Qasim and my matric number is 190388.
and I'm Mufal, is Farhan bin Rosli, and my matrix number is 190288.
My name is Ahmed Farid bin Jafar. Matric number 190282.
And my name is Muhammad Uzair bin Haidir, and my matrix number is 189997.
Okay, so better start off our discussion. Okay, back to the main topic of our discussion. Should we encourage people to use public transport? So I guess I will give my point of view first. From my point of view, I would say yes, we should encourage people to use public transport. As we know that by using public transport, we could save money. Recently, we know that the price of petrol in our country, Malaysia, is increasing rapidly. So like what I have read before, within 2 months, the price of petrol increased around approximately 20 cents to 30 cents. So by using public transport, the whole people in Malaysia could just save their money by using public transport. So anyone of you their point of view? So how about you, Uzair? Would you like to add in some points for our discussion?
I would like to add some, which is I'm quite agree with the increase of the price for the petrol, so that when people tend to they love when the price of the petrol is cheap, but when the government has increased the petrol price, so we tend to take another alternative of transportation, which is the public transport, whether it's the KTM, the LRT, or also the bus. The bus is another way to save our money on spending on the petrol on our vehicles. So that's my point of view on save our money.
Okay. I think I'm going to add on your point. KLT, by using the public transport, we can reduce the damage to the environment. As you know, in our today, we have such as public transport such as KTM, bus, LRT, Uber, and many more. So, as we have studied in our primary school, the smoke from the exhaust of the car can release CO2 and many carbonic acid that can lead to the air pollution. So, by using the public transport, we can reduce the usage of car, and we can maybe ride LRT, BRL, and bus to our destination, which can reduce, like we said, money and maybe time. I think.
But
yes.
excuse me, but I'm partially agree with your opinion, because you said that using the public transport can be reduce the damage to the environment, right? Which is environmental friendly. But what I'm saying is, not all vehicle is environmental friendly, which is, although the increase of usage of public transportation in Malaysia, but the ratio of our pollution is still not increasing, but is increasing, which is the pollution from the most untreated filter of the bus and of the car. So what I think is, when we usually take the bus, which is specifically the old bus, which is used by the school bus, or there is the old rapid KL bus, which is kind of the smoke that is released from the bus is quite heavy and concentrated, which is lead to higher pollution. So
I'm
maybe-
sorry, may I interrupt?
Yes.
I believe your statement is really good, the point of view towards that buses pollute. But in my opinion, I think the government are taking initiative to change that. So as you can see, most of the taxi now use NGV, which is natural gas vehicle, which produce less pollution. Also buses, as you can see, for example, the Nadi Putra at Putrajaya, all the buses use NGV, natural gas vehicle, which cause less pollution and which is less damaging to the environment.
May I add some point of view of mine? What I heard from you guys saying about petrol, and as we all know, nowadays cars are still using, also use solar energy, so it could also reduce environmental pollution. So it is kind of a public transportation, so we could definitely encourage people to use them.
I'm sorry, can you clarify what you mean by solar?
By solar, in fact, we could replace the usage of fuel for every single transportation by replacing using a solar, maybe a solar energy. What
But-
we learned before.
But from my research, solar technology is not yet up to par in our technology in the world, in the global technology world, because if I am not mistaken, I read a research paper where they said the solar power is not really enough to fuel the car or any public transportation.
Sorry, may I interrupt? I think we are off track and we go
Okay,
with
I'm
our discussion, our topic, which is the how to encourage people to use public transport. May I start at one point? I think by using public transport we can prevent traffic jams. As an example, we can use the LRT to go to our place to work, and we can also save our money and our time. People in Malaysia love to buy a car, many car. So I think by using public transport, we can reduce the usage of the transport mobile car and motorcycle and live in healthy life.
I agree to you. I agree with you. And if I may add, you can also save time, cut your travel time, and increase your productivity. As you can see, if you travel using car, you're stuck in traffic jam, as you mentioned, which really takes a long time. Based on my experience, I drive in the city in Kuala Lumpur. I once stuck there for 2 hours.
Very long.
That's very long. I think if you use the public transport, it reduces the travel time to get to your destination. And if you decrease the time, you can be more productive. That means you can focus on your work or focus on other activities beside staying in the car and waiting for the traffic.
I want to
Before you elaborate more on your point, may I interrupt? Saying my point of view. Okay, based on what you said about public transport, it could save time. Okay, it could save time. But for example, I give you for the public buses or maybe the KTM. it normally could also be off schedule. So if it's off schedule and you be late for something that you are in hurry, so wouldn't that be a problem?
I think there is no problem because we, as a human being, we can take the initiative that we can. What I mentioned, public transport is not for LRT, KTM, and bus, and we can take the Uber, taxi. Because as I mentioned that the people will reduce the usage of car, and only a few people that using car and many public transport we are used. I think that the number of private car and private car is minimum on the road.
Yes.
You get my point. As the private car on the road is low and the public transport is high, the traffic jam can be prevented. So the time consuming by the people to go to work as the LRT or KTM delay or something, we can use the on-road public transport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is not my point. Experience. I have experienced this once. Once I was driving to the KLCC from my hotel. It takes about 30 minutes, and I need to pay for a parking fee. Parking fee at KLCC, as we know, is very high, right?
Yeah.
So I'll think how to reduce it. So I'll go to the LRT station, a nearby LRT station, and just took an LRT to there. And it's only cost about 2 ringgit and 20 cents from the LRT station. You know? So what I want going to talk is about by using the public transport, we not only save our time, but we can also save our money. As when we are driving car, we need to petrol, toll, and parking fee. But if you only use the LRT, we just need to pay for the LRT ticket and maybe for the parking at the LRT station. So what I'm going to say is how we are going to encourage people to using public transport is because by using the public transport, we can save the money and save the time for people who using public transport.
It's very beneficial.
It's very beneficial.
Right. So after we hear every single point of view from all of us, I guess we can come up with a conclusion saying that we should encourage people to use public transport. So because it brings us beneficial to for our life. So you can save money, save petrol, save everything. So we should encourage people. So I guess that comes to our conclusion for this discussion today. So I think that is all from us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Miss.